Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. Welcome to Module 7 of the course. In Module 7, you're going to be evaluating the role of perfect competition. It's going to be our first market structure out of the four main market structures we're going to study in the course. With this week, you want to make sure that you're really focused on the characteristics of perfect competition and how to relate the characteristics to various examples. The characteristics of perfect competition are many buyers and sellers, the products that they sell are identical or homogeneous, low barriers to entry and exit, and firms have to take the market price because they're classified as a price taker. Those are important characteristics to evaluate when you're looking at this market structure. So really think about that when you're doing this week. Now, with this week, if you look at a firm like agriculture, you'll notice that farmers can't differentiate their product. And given that farmers can't differentiate their product, they're going to have to sell the product at the same exact price because the product is exactly the same. So that's a key thing to evaluate in your work. So make sure to think about that. If the product's the same, I got to take the market price it's being charged, and that's the price that I'm going to be able to charge for this. Now, for this week, you have a quiz. Quiz number 3. It's 20 multiple choice questions. You get one attempt, 60 minutes to take the quiz, and when you start the quiz, you have to end it at that point. Some things that you're going to see on the quiz. Let's go through the quiz now. A purely competitor seller is the marginal revenue equals marginal cost rule applies when what occurs? What is productive efficiency? What is marginal revenue? When a purely competitive firm is maximizing economic profit, what does that mean in terms of per unit profit? What is a firm's main goal? A purely competitive firm's total revenue. What are some of the characteristics of how you find total revenue? For a purely competitive firm, price equals what? If you look at the graph, price equals price, demand, marginal revenue, average revenue. What is allocative efficiency? An industry is producing at the least cost rate of production when what occurs with regard to average cost? What is a purely competitive seller when we look at a price taker? What are they? A purely competitive seller should produce in the short run if what occurs. You notice that they want to produce as long as their revenue is going to exceed their cost by some amount less than the fixed cost. That's the key. A purely competitive firm's short run supply curve looks like what? Where is that point? A perfectly elastic demand curve implies what? That's that demand curve that's perfectly horizontal. What does that imply? A competitive firm will maximize profits at the output at which what point occurs with regard to total revenue and total cost. The marginal revenue curve of a perfectly competitive firm, now remember it's that horizontal curve. P equals D equals MR equals AR. What is the profit maximizing rule? What do we look at in the long run for these firms when we look at economic profit? What's the relationship between economic profit in the long run? And maximizing profit, what is that looking at when you look at total revenue, total cost? And the last question is looking at allocative efficiency, and what does that mean when you look at a graph? Look at the profit maximizing point. So those are some of the questions you're going to cover, and I look forward to your effort this week.